Good morning. Good morning. Think I'm live? Think I'm live. Morning, everyone. Am I live? I think I'm live. Awesome. Well, today, let me just welcome you to the month of April. It's April 1st, 2021. Yes. Uh, Today is day 4 of the live workshop. And I think I've said this every day, but just want to remind everyone that it really makes a huge difference if you comment and say, like, I'm here, I'm watching. And then also, if you have any questions while I'm sharing, please post them in the comments. But yeah, it's really great. You can just comment and be like, yes, I'm here, I'm watching. I'd appreciate that. Looks like I left my water. Left my water in the other room, but that's okay. All right. So I have some exciting non-workshop news just to let you know. I became an auntie yesterday on my birthday. My little niece, Elise, was born on my birthday. How cool is that? Okay, so I wanted to share that with you because I think it's so amazing. My little being. I did do a blessing chant for her for 100 days while she was not born yet. So I'm really excited to see what kind of connection we have with as little expectation as possible, which is the fun part. Okay, so into this workshop. I don't know if anyone's, let me just see if anyone's commented yet. I love you guys. Hi. Um, there you go. Okay, so let's dive in. This is the cool, I mean, it's all cool stuff, but today is pretty great. So it's funny. I think it's kind of funny. Let me move up in my notes. Okay. I think it's pretty funny because today is April Fools. And, in yoga philosophy from the Vedas, ancient wisdom, it's saying, I thought I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Hold on. Let me just make sure it's on Do Not Disturb. Okay. All the things are on Do Not Disturb. Okay. Sorry about that. In ancient wisdom from the Vedas, so from India, this knowledge of Maya, and this is your first blank if you're using the workbook. Maya is the limited, purely physical and mental reality in which our everyday consciousness has become entangled. Maya is believed to be an illusion. So it's like, hey, April Fools, the reality you see, it's not really the reality. um, it's not really that funny, but it's kind of funny. Um, but yeah, yoga is teaching that what we're seeing, what we're perceiving, all the drama that's happening isn't actually real. Like it isn't actually everything, which I find fascinating. And I discovered this when I was in my yoga teacher training. I was like, oh, Maya, interesting. So many people believe that we're in the last 60 years of Kali Yuga, which is essentially the darkest age of humanity. And we would tend to agree that I think most people would agree that killing Christ was pretty brutal. The Holocaust, nuclear bombs, kind of dark. Like we've had a lot of dark things happening in the last 2000 years. Crusades. I mean, I could go on, but if you know some history, humanity hasn't been the most loving or brightest, which is interesting. It's interesting because we are shifting. This is why we're seeing all this chaos or these things coming up. Like, wait, especially if you're in America, like the medical system, like so the health system, the education system, the political system, pretty much all the systems, um, it seems apparent to a lot of us that they need to evolve. That wasn't necessarily apparent a couple hundred years ago, right? Those systems were actually still being established. And the thing about something that I've learned that I think is very important, this is not in your notes, but you could add it, is we if we want to grow, which we do, if you're in this group, if you're hanging out with me, you probably are in that boat. We want to grow and evolve and move forward as a collective consciousness, as humanity. We and this is an interesting thing that we see going on right now because everyone or a lot of people that are in the Christ consciousness community, a self-ascension, new age community, yoga, like a lot of people that are in that particular bubble. I'm going to call it a bubble because we all live in different bubbles. The consciousness yoga bubble, we are definitely forerunners. We're helping make the shift, and we can't just go live in an exotic place because our nervous systems will feel better. Okay. One, because the reason that white people can go to exotic places is colonialism. So we need to think about that and how we're treating locals. Okay. So you've seen some pretty interesting non conscious things around that, um, which is fascinating. It's part of our evolution. But another thing is, we can't just escape. That's not going to help humanity. So, this bigger call right now, part of the reason that I'm doing this whole workshop and today specifically talking about um, this evolution that humanity is in is because it is time to help reestablish better systems for us to move forward. And we can't do that if we all just run away to paradise or live out of our van or whatever. I mean, I want to do all these things, by the way. Just saying, I'm guilty. I would like to just go live in Costa Rica. That would be great. And it wouldn't be great for me because of my dharma and my perspective. But you know what I'm saying is it seems like, oh, it'd be nice if I could just go to this place and heal myself and heal my family. And we're not really in that spot anymore. Like if you came back to the planet right now, you're here to help make it better. Newsflash. Um, which is great. It's a beautiful thing. And you have to, I think all of us have to heal ourselves and get to a certain point in our journey so that we can then figure out, okay, what is my contribution back to humanity as we're evolving? Because there probably is one. If you're hanging around me, your soul has a dharma, it has a purpose. There's something bigger um that's going to be revealed to you if it hasn't yet. And hopefully I can help that in any way, shape, or form. I would love to be a catalyst or a guide or whatever. I'd love to help you discover that if you haven't discovered it yet. But it's just very obvious to me. Okay. So interesting, a lot of interesting things. I feel like that was on a little bit of a tangent, but hopefully that helped some of you. Okay, so let me see here. Yeah, so let's talk about this. What is actually happening or happened, what happened to me. So, what's being talked about, it doesn't really matter which community you're in. There's a lot of different forerunner communities, a lot of way showers, people um, creating a new way. And some, I've heard about different communities. I went to Ecuador with Shri and Kira. I think a lot of you know that. That was a ninth dimensional activation as part of an ascension process. So a self-ascension process, becoming a master, which definitely made me more of a master. It was pretty powerful. And I think any of these teachers or groups, if you hang out with them, like if you go to a MatCon conference, you're going to get the downloaded vibration from the teacher. If you've ever meditated with a guru or sat in an ashram with a swami or a teacher, or even anyone that's just practiced meditation regularly for 20, 30 years, like there's a essence, there's an energy that you can pick up from them. There's a download that happens. I'm trying to bring all of the different words from different places together so that it makes sense. So if you look at your blank, your first blank is Christ consciousness, which is reaching a state where one is radiating love and light. So, with this term, there's a bridge between yoga philosophy and Christianity. I've heard it defined as experiencing your higher self as part of the universal self, or another way to say it is self realization and unity with God or the divine. A lot of yoga, purely yoga philosophy, is saying, you want to be enlightened. Um, and I think it's kind of shifting. Like it is enlightened. If you've ever had enlightened experiences, you literally feel lighter. Like it's a great term for that. But I also see people moving more towards like enheartenment or radiating love and light. You probably have heard love and light over and over and over again because those are actually the vibrations. Oh, somebody asked me yesterday about gratitude. Like, where does gratitude fall in with the chakras? And I said it's the heart, and gratitude is really that. Gratitude's like the gateway drug to consciousness. If you can remain grateful, if you can continue to nurture this attitude of gratitude, it expands your energetic field. It literally makes you lighter, brighter, more love, right? So it's all these different tools and teachers, whatever is coming to you, that's what's supposed to come to you, and you got to take it and run with it, right? Which is really exciting. So Christ consciousness is cool, I think, because it's like bridging yoga philosophy with the Bible. And those are like the two things that I probably know the best because I was raised very much with the Bible and having a relationship with God and Jesus. And so that really speaks to me. I think that's why one of the reasons why that one is gaining momentum, Christ consciousness. I think another is, I feel like, around the corner, or this could be like the second coming, is everyone stepping into their love and light, everyone being the second Christ or the Christ consciousness. I don't know. It's just an idea. So, and I don't get too hung up on ideas. I just like to discuss them. Okay. So the next term in your blanks is self-ascension. That is rising or moving into a higher, more powerful state. I've seen the process described as mind awakening, personality awakening, spiritual awakening, soul awakening, and the phase of enlightenment. The way that Sri and Kira taught it to me, self-ascension is really stepping into your mastery and owning it. And there's things that involves, like forgiveness. A lot of you were in my forgiveness challenge in December. Some of you have done it with me as clients. Forgiveness sets you free. So that's a huge step. And I mean, what does that have to do with like Jesus, right? So here we are back at Christ again. And it's really cool because like we're going into Easter. I didn't even do that on purpose. How neat is that? So anyways, self-ascension, I didn't know what it was until I started to feel a bunch of weird things. If you like Google or if you YouTube self-ascension symptoms, there's things like not sleeping, achy body, ears ringing, colors becoming more vibrant. I mean, there's a lot of different things that are actually happening to people, especially if you're on this path. And so when I think it was 2015 and 16, when I really felt like I was on this journey, like in the dark night of the soul of the journey. Where did my little drawing go from yesterday? Yeah. So like when I was going down here, which I still revisit the darkness all the time, right? My own shadow. But when I was down in here of the self ascension, like that's when I was having a lot of these weird symptoms and, interesting dreams and yeah, astral projection like experiences. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I'm not really sure, but there's a lot of really interesting stuff. Past life regression on my own, like remembering past lives. I mean, really woo woo metaphysical stuff, which matters. I think it matters. So, anyways, that was powerful for me. And that's when I really started to dive into the self ascension groups or teachers who was talking about that. But I don't think it's something that's necessarily new. I think there's just a lot of new terms for a similar process that we go on as we are evolving spiritually. Another one that's talked about a lot, and this is the next blank, I believe, is transitioning from 3D to 5D. So 3D, and there's actually like, yeah, the universe said I can share this. There's actually like a million D. Like there's so many dimensions and times and space. Like, but what we need generally as a main population right now is to understand like the 3D, 4D, 5D, like that is just a way for our brains to comprehend a little bit of what's actually out there and happening. So I'll explain. So 3D is like what we see is the Maya, it's the illusion that I talked about earlier. 3D is people being upset with masks or no masks or vaccinations or no vaccine, like that's all like 3D energy. It's like a low vibrational, um, let's fight and get upset about things because we haven't healed yet kind of energy. You guys know what I'm talking about? Please put in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Okay. And 40 is very interesting. 40 is where you're kind of going back and forth between a 5D, which is a heart-centered Christ consciousness kind of space, love and light, to a 3D. And you're like, boom, boom. And you're kind of bouncing back and forth. And you're like, whoa, that was low vibrational. Whoa, that was high vibrational. Whoa, that was weird. Why'd I do that? Oh, wow. Did I really see that in that meditation or dream? And you're kind of like in this back and forth, which is fun. It's not really fun. It's interesting. It's an interesting space to be in that between 3 and 5D, which is like that 4D, where you're becoming more heart centered and you're still kind of falling back to your patterns and you're kind of not, but you're starting to see them. It's very interesting. That's how it was for me. Anyway, that's very similar to my experience was like, whoa, I did all those things that were negative and hurt people. Wow. What was I thinking? Like, anyways. So 3D to 5D, um it's basically the same as going from, a self-ascension process or moving into a Christ consciousness vibration. They're all really the same thing. So going from believing and seeing one reality as the reality, when one is in the fifth dimension and beyond, you realize and remember that you are divine, which is yoga talks about the remembering, right? You remember that you have a divine vibration and more than one human and one life with little or no power. So you start to really, all of these, you start to believe like, oh, I have a divine vibration, which is what yoga is teaching. A lot of philosophy of yoga is teaching that. Um, and there's more to this reality. So ignore that. I thought I put on do not disturb twice. Oh. So anyway, I think that there's a lot of new terms to kind of relate the same ideas. I think it's the energy on the planet. The planet has already ascended. So Gaia, our lovely organism that we're living on, the planet, also known as Earth, Earth. um, sorry, movie reference. But anyways, she's already like stepped into this like different vibration in order to support humanity, right? And humanity is, I think, evolving now. And like I said, all of these terms are basically pointing or teaching about similar things. Okay. Also, another one I posted. Well, I think actually Leslie posted it yesterday, but it's New Earth. New Earth is similar. Like I was just saying, like the planet has actually already ascended. There's already the vibrational and physical realities that need to be established in order for us as humans to evolve. It gets supported, the energy is supported. So New Earth is also similar to the above terms, Christ consciousness, 5D, self-ascension. After studying and doing different meditations and things with different teachers who use the different words, it's really all the same as far as I can tell. Another one is moving into the age of Aquarius, which means all of the above to me as well. Aquarius, one person that described this really well, I thought it's humanity's moving from as a collective, not just the people that are quote unquote get it, because who's that? I mean, we're all just trying to figure this out. Who am I, God, and who are you? Right? We're all in this beautiful mystery together. And I liked the way that this one teacher described the age of Aquarius because it's like we're moving from I believe, like I believe in this teacher, or I believe in this person, or I believe in this concept. I believe in something that is outside of myself. to I know, to like, I know intuitively, I know, like I have the answers within me. That's like the theme of the age of Aquarius. Um, so we're individually shifting from looking outside ourselves for the answers or something to believe into trusting in our own inner wisdom, which I think is just so cool. So, why does all this stuff matter? I mean, now is the time to claim your mastery. That's a blank if you're in the notebook or in the workbook. Now is the time to claim your mastery and step into your power. And part of it is you just making that decision. I mean, part of it is you saying, yes, I am a master and I'm going to step into my power. And it's not like dominating power. It's not like I'm going to master other people. It's literally being a self master. And if you look at the yoga, like the yogic path, it's going from, and this is I haven't actually seen anyone else define it this way. This is how I define my journey as on the yoga path. The yogic path would be self loathing, so going from hating myself, self-loathing, to self-accepting, not thrilled, but accepting the reality. And then to self-liking, like, okay, finding things that I don't hate about myself that I do kind of like, or accepting things and maybe liking some of them, to self-love. And then after really loving yourself, like really loving yourself. And it's still a balance, right? There's still days you're going to feel more self love than others, but then moving into self mastery. Self mastery is huge. I mean, to move, because this, I believe, is the journey I'm on right now, is this shifting from self love to self mastery. Self mastery is almost like never doubting yourself. I mean, self mastery, and then like, how do you do that? I mean, we're human, so I think you still do some, but it's like healing all of your family, all your familial relationships, so that as much as it is up to you, you're cool with your siblings, with your parents, with your cousins, with your exes, with your whoever, like anyone that's been close to you doesn't have an icky feeling. That's mastery, right? Self love, all of that other journey is to get you to that point where you can then really heal all those close inner relationships. And that is, I mean, that is a huge part of mastery because we are communal. Like we are not just hanging out by ourselves on this rock. Like we are hanging out with our friends in the water. So, anyways, I just like the water. But yeah, so self mastery is very involved, and I think it really starts with you claiming it. Like, yes, I'm going to step into the power. I'm going to step into my own power and know that I can be my own master, and I do have answers. Like I do know what I need to be doing. I don't actually have to go outside myself necessarily all the time. Now, sometimes it's still great. Like I think it's great to go to someone who channels or a psychic, or I think it's great to do an astrology reading. Anything that comes in, I do the number 3. So if someone mentions a book and then it pops up in someone's feed and then someone else mentions it, it means I need to look at that book. Or that's an intuition hit. So if it's like it hits from a couple places, I do the same thing when I teach yoga. A lot of you have been in my yoga classes before. I'll be going along with my agenda and my my plan. And if a certain pose or concept comes in like multiple times, I'm like, okay, I have to share this or we have to do this pose. I don't necessarily know why, but the universe knows why. And you know what? Every time I've done that, at the end of class, someone came up and was like, I really needed that pose. And I'm like, awesome, because that wasn't really part of the plan, but I guess it was part of a plan. So I think a lot of mastery is surrendering, getting out of your own way, allowing, like, so the note I have on my desk is, um, I'm offering myself in service to the highest force of love. I'm willing to receive. I am a channel of God's love energy. Like part of it is just surrendering to being that channel of energy. Like, I don't have to have all the answers. Thank God. And a lot of things have come to me, which is why I was sharing this workshop, because I think that when you first hear about self ascension or you first hear about Christ consciousness or 5D, it's kind of like, where are these things coming from and how do they work together? So hopefully this has been helpful with at least my version on where are all these different things coming from and how are they helpful. And I shared some of my favorite teachers' videos in the group this week. So I've shared trying to think, New Earth, Eckhart Tolle's good, Sri and Kira, Sandra Walter. I've shared her meditation. We're going to do that on Sunday. If you want to come hang out with me and do bhakti, we're going to do that on Sunday. And oming during asana. Matt Kahn, he's in the Love Revolution group. Anyways, but yeah, I'll keep sharing these things because I think it's very important to figure out what resonates with you. Like Joe Dispenza is great. Abraham Hicks is great. Like there's definitely a lot of different types of teachers that are kind of saying similar things, which is really like, get out of your own way. Step into your mastery. Step into this deep self-love so that you can shine this light. Okay. Where am I in my notes? Oh yeah, by shining your unique light and being love, you can access more ease and joy while the world and humanity is transitioning, which is right now. Okay. So I like to use this statement. You can join me for it if you want. It's, I'm here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. This is a self-ascension mantra from Sri and Kira. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm open. Guide me. I think we were going to do another exercise too. So let's do a little exercise. So what I want you to do is stand up. I don't know if I was actually, I can't tell if I was actually live on Instagram for any of this. Oops. Okay. So what I want you to do, if you can, is stand up, and you might not really see me that well, but I'm going to do it too. I'm going to stand up and then just do some nice twists. Put this down for a second. Take some deep breaths. You're just going to gently twist a little bit. Hi. Just moving for a second. We're going to channel some energy. So twisting. And you can tap your shoulder and your kidney here. Good. And then do arms up. Breathe in, lift up so you're on the balls of your feet. Exhale forcefully through the nose. And then shake your arms, shake your legs, shake your hips, shake everything. Shake, 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 shake. Like think energy in all my cells, oxygen in all my cells. Okay, shake your hands a lot, shake your feet a lot. Okay, and then stand. Notice any sensations you feel in your hands, feet, heart, head. Then breathe in love or positive energy from the universe through your head and hands to your heart. And then exhale out your feet to the earth. Breathe in love and light from the earth up to your heart. Exhale from your heart back out through your hands and head to the universe. So you're breathing in positive energy, love, universe to heart. Exhale, heart to earth. Breathe in, earth to heart. Exhale, heart to universe. So you're a catalyst of positive love energy in this moment. You are powerful. You are a master. You might feel some tingling in your hands. I generally do. I'm going to sit back down. Just make your way back. If you're standing and you did that exercise with me, just make your way back gracefully, gently. Yeah, so stepping into Christ consciousness, 5D, a self-ascension, the new earth, whichever term resonates with you, is stepping into mastery, stepping into love and light. And when I just said, while you're standing there, you're the master, you're powerful, whatever your voice, like if your voice, your inner voice said, oh no, I'm not because of XYZ, or it said, yes, I am. And just pay attention to that, because those are the clues to where you could need to focus more of your healing, self-healing energy if you're doubting it. I know the first time one of my teachers asked me to be a master, I was like, whoa, mastery. That sounds a little, I don't know, like I still get mad at myself sometimes, I was kind of like, oh, and that's what it was for me. I still get mad at myself sometimes. So it was like, oh, okay, I need to be a little bit more soft, like a little more gentle with myself. Oh, hi. Okay. All right. So all the stuff, I like to do breathing in universe to heart, heart to earth, earth to heart, heart to universe, because to me, instantly, I feel like this channel of love, energy, and light. So it's one of my favorites. So as I'm sharing all this stuff, just simply notice, like for you, what is sticky and what resonates. Like if you agree, that's great. If you don't agree, that's also fine. Like it's just whatever you're supposed to receive from this, you will, right? So trusting that and asking your higher self or asking God, the divine, what are you supposed to embrace from this workshop, from the different things I've shared? What is it inviting you to do? Like I invite you to write down, even right now in the notes. Well, this is actually Sunday's notes, or Saturday's notes, but you could write down in the notes if you have the workbook, like whatever comes to you, or if you have a journal, because it's the things that are supposed to come to you will, and I think trusting that is really important. All right, let me check my notes. I don't think I really have too much more for today. Cool. That was a lot of stuff. Sorry, Instagram. I realized that I wasn't live. I was like, oh, nobody's watching. And I realized that I wasn't live. So that's okay. Let me just check really quick in the comments. Does anybody have any questions or anything that's resonating or not resonating or that we need to bring in? It's been about 30 minutes. So this is about our time here. But I just like the idea that we're all in a room with our teas, even though I left my tea in the kitchen, hanging out together. So, Leslie, was there any questions that I missed from that got posted or anything? Let me double check before I just end it. It's been really great hanging out and sharing some of this stuff. It's okay, cool. It's not a time to really be alone with this stuff. Yeah, just post. Yeah, just go ahead and ask me if you have any questions. See someone's typing. But yeah, it's not, the most important thing right now is to find your tribe or to find a group of people. Oh, with the breathing exercise? Yeah. So it goes, there's a channel from your heart. If you were to do like a longer meditation, you anchor this golden cord from your heart to the core of the earth, and from your heart up through the astral field, through the atmosphere, through space to the divine. So you could call it source light or God, universe, whatever resonates for you. So it's breathing in from God or source light and love to your heart, and then breathing from your heart to the earth, and then earth to heart and heart back up. And I like to do a little bit of movement before I do it. It's actually a Qigong exercise. Is that helpful, Suzanne? That let me know if that just give me a thumbs up if that was helpful, or if that answered your question. Really great exercise. Really, I love doing it alone, but also whenever I'm teaching. So, like if I teach a yoga class, or if you want to join me for Bhakti on Sunday, I'm going to do Bhakti yoga on Sunday. We'll do that for sure because I just love it. Um, but yeah, what with all this stuff, it's just really important to figure out like where are your safe communities, your safe spaces to talk about this stuff in a space where you're not going to be judged for having maybe different ideas or whatever. You need to find your peeps. So you need to find a community of people that are moving forward with their self-healing and their spirituality. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, is my group still able to join? Yeah. I mean, as far as my Facebook group, yeah. As far as I am doing one last round. Thank you for asking that question. I am doing one last round of coaching my peers. Um, so that would be you guys. Anybody that wants to join is open to join me for the spring. So it's going to be not this next week, but the week after until June. We're going to go through all of the things. There's essentially what my course is all of the things that I did compacted into this like really transformational process to help you move forward in your self-ascension into your mastery going. And if you're still working on self-love, that's okay because I think we're all doing that all the time. So really honing in the self-love and stepping into the mastery part of the journey. And we're catalysts for each other. So the more of us together that are doing it, the faster and easier it is, which is really cool. So yeah, if you want to talk to me about that, just my calendar is grateful heart energy / apply. And then we can talk. That just gets you on my calendar. So yeah, let me know if you want to do that. But this is definitely the time. As far as there's going to be we're still kind of in the thick of it as far as like I don't want to say like I don't want to be like I don't want to scare you guys, but humanity evolving, the fun, it's not just all sunshine and rainbows. Like the next couple of years are still going to be a little bit rough, and so it's important. At least that's how I'm feeling. So it's important for us. I mean, for all of the systems to be more aligned with where humanity is. One, it takes time. It's easy to go far alone. That's what I was trying to say earlier when it's like, oh, we could just move to Costa Rica. Well, yeah, we could because if we're in America and we're white, we're privileged. I mean, like if anyone in America is privileged, but like, yeah, sure, we could just run from everything. That's not really going to help the systems, So, and we can't help anything outside of us until we like get to a good place on our own. So we're not needing other people for our joy. Like when we can create our own love and joy, that's when we can really turn around and help the planet. So I hope I'm not rambling now. But yeah, if you want to join the group, there's still space in my group for sure. And I'm going to share tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. I was actually looking at the notes for tomorrow and I was like, oh yeah. And then I saw they said Friday and I was like, oh. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about language evolution, which helps us because when we shift our languages, right, Mom, weren't you and I talking about this the other day? Like when you shift the language you're using, it pushes you forward in your future identity. Like I'm becoming the kind of person who, whatever it is, like if you say but, like one of my big ones is but. Don't say but. I love you, but no, you don't. Like just I love you and I have to work on my paper today or whatever. Like I love you and maybe I need to do X, Y, and Z, and then I can hang out with you or whatever the thing is. So that's one, but we'll talk about some more tomorrow. Language evolution, a little bit about like the mystical powers that are possible that yoga teaches about. And I think that Jesus did. I think that he was using those um, because of his mastery, right? Which might have been because of his divine birth. If you guys want to hear about that, I can share it a little bit. Some of the stuff I learned in my womb chakra class is pretty interesting. And then the really cool thing tomorrow is I'm going to give you like a list of a bunch of things that you can do right now to help you. So if you're not ready to join the group and you don't want to be like, on a crazy transformative journey for 3 months, I'm still going to give you a bunch of tools that will help you no matter what. So I look forward to sharing that with you tomorrow. Um, thank you, Leslie, for uh, assisting me and being here. Thank you, everyone else, for being here. Tomorrow, really, I have space to answer questions. So if you have any questions about today, please send them to me in a Facebook message or post them in the group under this video, and I would be happy to answer those to the best of my ability. If you remember earlier, I said I don't have all the answers, so whatever comes to me, I'll share. All right, I love you all. I just want to give everybody hugs, virtual hug, virtual hug. Okay. All right, see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here.